So after 12 hours, we finally beat the day 1 raid for the Deep Stone Crypt. I gotta say, guys, very good raid. I really wish y'all could have seen the final encounter. Unfortunately, I was not recording. We were streaming though, but YouTube for some reason past 12 hours does not allow you to archive your stream anymore. It actually just cuts it off, which is really kind of weird. Regardless though, our teammate Light Razor landed the new raid exotic, Eyes of Tomorrow. Now, there's been some speculation about this exotic. Is it essentially Gjallarhorn 2.0? Fellas, I'm here to tell you, it's even nastier than Gjallarhorn. First up, the exotic perk found on this rocket launcher, Eyes on All. This weapon is capable of tracking and firing at multiple targets simultaneously. Matter of fact, when you aim down sights, you will immediately get those target beads on all the enemies in front of you. You don't even have to stay aiming down sights. You can just aim down sights, get a lock on, like do a sweep, get a lock on all the enemies, and then just shoot. And the rockets will track toward those targets. So even for those situations where you got the enemies that are spread out a little bit, no problem. Just like do this panoramic target swiping and you'll be able to track all the targets in front of you. Now, I only got up to 4 targets at once. I'm assuming it goes up to 6 because it actually shoots 6 rockets at once. 6 very extremely lethal rockets. Now, the trait found on this weapon is Adaptive Ordnance. Killing 4 or more combatants in a single volley increases the damage of the next volley. Guys, we're going to talk about this rocket launcher real quick because it is packing a hell of a punch. Matter of fact, when we went down here to Carl, we got to see firsthand how much damage it's actually doing. Essentially almost killing Carl in 1 volley, doing 21,184 damage per rocket, for a total damage of 127,104. Now, it's not until I actually start comparing this to 1,000 Voices that I was like, holy hell, this is a lot of damage. But then when we proc Adaptive Ordnance, this actually increases our damage by 43%, throwing our rocket damage up to 30,276 damage per rocket for a total of 181,656 damage here with Eyes of Tomorrow. And that's just one shot. I think hands down in the raid, or at least the final encounter of the raid, Eyes of Tomorrow will be the go-to exotic for that damage phase. And with a rocket launcher reserve perk, you can hold up to 8 rockets. And by the way, rocking double reserve perks is for some reason bugged. Yeah, it actually cancels itself out. So if you are rocking reserve perks, just rock 1, or you're literally not going to get any increase in your ammo. Now, to obviously get the most out of this rocket launcher, pairing it with rocket launcher loaders is fantastic here. And I was just showcasing how quickly I can get a volley of shots off, one after another. What's so amazing about this is you can see how quickly it tracks. Simply aim down sights and bam, it's got the target. And the way it actually like shoots rockets off is kind of like Truth, as the rockets almost seem to like eject themselves vertically from the rocket launcher itself, but Truth on roids. Like, Truth does not do this level of damage, nor do I think Truth's tracking is as deadly as Eyes of Tomorrow. Which takes us to PvP. I was expecting this rocket launcher to just purely be a PvE powerhouse, and that's it. Boy, was I surprised. We went inside of Mayhem, and my God, this rocket launcher was stroking people. The tracking on it is absolutely nuts. Some of the kills it was getting was for sure not meant to be, but you know, rockets be broken sometimes. And in this case with Eyes of Tomorrow, hands down, it pulls off some crazy shenanigans when it comes to grabbing kills. Now, stat-wise, the weapon really isn't that impressive. It's in that 20 rate of fire archetype, putting it pretty much in the same line as Apex Predator, Bellowing Giant, 75 blast radius. Velocity for the most part is, you know, middle of the pack. Nothing majorly above average outside of maybe the reload speed being pretty good, but it's purely the fact of just superior artillery. 6 rockets, no matter what the blast radius is, will always be better than 1 rocket. And as deadly as it was inside of PvP, I honestly think Gambit is where it truly shines. It's almost like the more distance I put between myself and my enemy, the nastier Eyes of Tomorrow and its tracking capabilities got. And we've played with a lot of heavies that have done some crazy shenanigans inside of Gambit. Sleeper, Truth, 1000 Voices, Thunderlord, all kinds of heavy exotics that are fantastic exotics. Eyes of Tomorrow, though, kicks it up a notch. Like, I don't see it being replaced ever inside of Gambit. And considering 2 scavenger perks for rocket launchers will allow you to pick up 4 rockets from 1 heavy brick. Yeah. So is this a rocket launcher you should go after? Absolutely. I think actually out of all of the raid exotics, this is the most powerful raid exotic Bungie has ever given us. It definitely outperforms Divinity to me, even though Divinity is like a team-based weapon, right? So, you know, you can't really say that's a good comparison, but it obviously dwarfs 1000 voices completely. But in terms of just raw damage, overwhelming damage, Eyes of Tomorrow has got it. On top of being one of the best weapons for just clearing literally everything in your field of view. Like everything that you highlight with that target, it decimates. So I definitely think you should go after this rocket launcher. And I know not everyone does the raid. The raid is definitely tougher the first day. It gets easier after that though, guys. Contest mode is not on after the first 24 hours. So for those that do have higher light levels and power levels, the raid should be significantly easier for you. And considering how good this rocket launcher is inside of PvP, I could see this rocket launcher replacing Warcliffe for many PvP players. And like all rocket launchers that have tracking, the tracking doesn't begin until you actually aim down sights. So for those moments you do need to actually kill someone that's rushing you, or if you don't want to take advantage of the tracking, just shooting from the hip will shoot the rockets off in the direction of your crosshairs. So it still performs just like a normal rocket launcher. It just shoots 6 at a time, which I gotta say is beautiful. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.